VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, what do you think of the Saudi boxing relationship? Real quick, before we get into everything with this video, please give me a sub if you like the content. We're very close to 200 subs, and if I can get to 200 subs before the end of the year, I'll be a very happy vigilante. Anyways, not only do we have this much hubbubaloo about the December 23rd Day of Reckoning card with all these different boxers, but of course Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk is also signed for February 17th of 2024. So we have two huge boxing cards on the horizon, and a lot of it is thanks to the Saudis. Now, there's been a lot of criticism of the Saudis indirectly because the perception has become a lot of these fighters don't want to make fights unless they can get the big payday from Saudi. However, I'd argue a lot of these fighters just don't want to make fights. I mean, a lot of these fights wouldn't get made if not for Saudi. At the same time, I don't think if it wasn't for Saudi, I don't think Tyson Fury would ever have fought Alexander Usyk in a million years. I think he would have ducked him forever, but he is fighting him now. How much blame do you really want to give Saudi for what they do? They have their own interests. They're trying to make their country seem a lot better to the West and the world at large, and up their stock as a country, and kind of shy away from a lot of the political stuff that they're dealing with or they have dealt with as a country, and make them seem more of a worldly country, so to speak. That's why there's so many big events. That's why they're not just impactful in boxing, they're very impactful in golf. They have that live golf or live golf situation. They've done wrestling cards. They're going to be doing some UFC stuff. They're doing a lot of sports content amongst other things to raise their profile, so they have an interest outside of profit. And as a result, it means they can, and not only do they have an interest outside of profit, they have an infinite, seemingly, coffers, you know, an infinite coffer, infinite money. So they have a lot of money to spend. They have an interest that's outside of profit. And as a result, they can get things done that boxing just can't get done on its own. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that we should, you know, lap up anything the Saudis do, or anything they do outside of the boxing sphere doesn't deserve its criticism. I'm not a political analyst, despite what I play on the other channel. I'm far from it. But man, they're doing a good job with boxing. To me, I don't think these fights happen. I don't know if we're going to get Joshua Wilder, but that video that I did a few months ago, still one of the biggest videos on my channel. I constantly get views for the video I made of Who You Got, and I kind of gave the pros and cons of both as I thought of it then. If we get that fight, it's going to be the Saudis. I'd much rather have had that fight for the December 23rd card. I already said that in the other video. Maybe I'll put, you know, the little marker to say, hey, go watch that video. Yes, I'd much rather have Joshua Wilder now, but this gets us closer than we've ever been to Joshua Wilder. That's just the reality of the situation. You need big money to make fights. The only reason we got something like, even though it didn't involve the Saudis, but the only reason we got something like Crawford and Spence is because the money finally got right, and the fighters kind of took it out of the promoters' hand. These promoters, they do more bad than good, in my opinion, because they just muddle things up. They got their own egos, they got their own agendas, they're in bed with different networks, so then they're enslaved to the networks. The Saudis are unencumbered by all this stuff. They can just do what they want, and they have enough money to make any little political issue go away. Now, there's still something to be said about whatever the hell those judges did in that Fury Ngannou fight, but I don't, if even a fight like that doesn't happen, and now, you know, the entire world is still different. Who knows what Francis Ngannou is going to do in his career? We wouldn't have had that without the Saudis. So to me, the Saudis are a net positive, but don't get me wrong, I understand the negative. I do understand that we already have a stubborn set of fighters who don't want to fight. You know, guys like Andy Ruiz, who does have an injury, and that's why he's not on this card, but he's been known to not take a fight if it's not worth a lot of money, and price himself out of some big fights. At least that was the rep that not only happened when he negotiated with Wilder, that's the rep he had when he negotiated with Fury. And that's the rep. Oh, Andy Ruiz, you know, he really wants a lot more money than he's worth. And a lot of fighters have been accused of that. You know, PBC, the Protected Boxers Club. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that protection stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just all put it on Saudi. Plus, I will say this about Saudi, I do understand the idea that more people will have that mentality. It's like, oh, well, I got paid such and such to be on the undercard of a Saudi show, so I'm not gonna do anything for less than that. It's like, yeah, that is a risk. That's a risk. I'm not gonna say that risk isn't there. That risk may present itself for some fighters. I'm sure it will. But it's just the fact of the matter is we're not going to get some of these fights anyway. If we don't have a Saudi, if we don't have fighters going above and beyond, these fights don't happen. Look at last week. I didn't cover it, but Shakur Stevenson. A lot of people are giving him a lot of heat. But the only reason he's fighting what was my man named Dos Santos and having kind of lackluster performances is he's not getting the fights that he needs. Lomachenko didn't want to fight him. Kambosos didn't want to fight him. He should have took the Devin fight, even though he was low balled out. You know, he's not perfect. He's not above reproach. He should have took that Devin fight, but Tank isn't gonna fight him, so he can't necessarily get the fights that he wants. Like I said, the Devin, he made a mistake. Even though he was low ball, you need to take what you can to get a title shot. It is what it is. But other fighters had no interest in fighting Shakur. He ends up fighting a guy he probably is not getting up for, and then he has a lackluster performance, and then that guy's just happy to survive. And I didn't see the fight. I didn't even see the fight, so I can't really judge the fight, but just getting the backlash. That backlash has as much to do with Shakur Stevenson not being able to secure fights. And because there's no impetus for people to get in the ring with him, again, I'm giving Devin a pass. I keep saying it, and I'm not a Devin Haney guy. I am not. Despite what everyone thought on that damn Lomachenko thing. That's another big video, the Lomachenko Devin Haney videos I made. I called it even, and I got hate from both sides. But that notwithstanding, outside Shakur, you know, maybe price himself out a tad bit with that Devin situation. Loma not wanting to fight him, the aforementioned Loma not wanting to fight him, that's not on him. Everybody else who didn't want to fight him, that's not on him. But he ends up in kind of a nothing fight on a Thursday and doesn't give the top effort, and now he's looked at crazy. And a lot of that is because people can't make fights on their own. So that's why I'm pro Saudi. Not in every other way, just as far as the boxing thing, because I don't want to get into the political stuff. I do that enough on the other channel. But seriously, I'm pro what Saudi is doing because they get fights done. And the heavyweight division did not have a good year this year, and it's going to end good because of Saudi Arabia and start off good next year because of Saudi Arabia. So you got to give them credit. You can give them blame, but you got to give them credit. But what do you think? If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.